Hello, everybody. Test. Voice level looks pretty good, I think. How are you all doing today? I have on the workbench a Commodore 64 that I'm going to be, I started it on a stream where I was going through 3 different Commodore 64s that I have, trying to find which one worked the best. And I had to swap some chips in there and get everything working. And there is a whole website dedicated to the Retro Alcove. It's retroalcove.com. So you can go check that out. That has some direct links to a bunch of my YouTube videos about my collection and just playing games on some of the older machines as well. So go ahead and check that out. And if you're interested in my other social media stuff, it's maidenariana.com, and there's an all my links thing at the top. So it's another way to kind of find all the stuff I'm doing. And yes, Retro Alcove. Yeah. Alright everyone, I am going to switch over to the game screen. Here we go. Testing. Hello. We are over here on the workbench. It looks a little bright. Let me see here. Let me adjust some of the lighting. I just look like I have a halo or something. So, when last we were on the workbench, I made a big mess. We were going through all these different C64s and looking for one that was functioning fully, because some of them there's some bad chips and stuff. And look at this, I'm so bad. I left the chips I pulled last time on the desk here, just sitting here. So anyway, this is just obviously a different kind of viewpoint of the Retro Alcove. So this is normally the wall behind me when I'm playing games and stuff on my main machine. You can see in the background there, is like the C64, or sorry, the VIC-20. C64 is normally right here, but no, it's on the bench. And then the Atari 800XL is right there. But yeah, let's turn on, this is one of the special new bricks. So this is a very safe power supply for C64s. I got this at the Vintage Computer Festival Midwest 2 years ago, actually. And I'll just touch some metal here before I touch this. So this is just a dead test for the C64, so it's just showing that everything with this one is working. And then what we're probably going to do is we're going to remove this shield, and I'm going to take this board completely out of the bottom of this case. Let's turn that off because we're showing that it's working. I'm gonna what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a keyboard with all these different keys. So we've got at least we're gonna start it tonight. This is kind of a big project because I gotta pop them all off the current keyboard very carefully and then start putting those in, but at least it's fun to kind of show you all. Alright, let's shut this off so I don't do any damage to it. And then we'll start taking the shield off and stuff. I really should have cleaned my workbench desk more before doing this. And let's take this out so we don't damage it. Gotta protect my nails while doing this stuff. I showed this the other time, but there's a lot of new people here. So this is the dead test cartridge. It's kind of fun. I ordered this off eBay and that's how it arrived, with the little happy sticker on it. So it's for testing all the different functions on a C64. Something is caught. What is caught? Oh, I see it. Oh my gosh, I missed one. Right here. Little lone screw. Here, I can show you. Looks obvious that I shouldn't have missed that one, but I did. I do have screws. I have multiple. That's why being gentle was important. I would have just said it needs to just come loose. I would have probably cracked something. Alright. C64 motherboard is out. You want to see it a little closer? It's a beautiful thing. Look at that. Alright, and now the project is I'm moving it from the old C64 case to Commodore VIC-20 case, and then I'm putting new keys on the keyboard just to make it kind of a fun, pretty version of the Commodore 64 because I want one that has fuchsia keys because I'm funny like that. One of the things I showed on a prior stream was that one of the C64s I had bought from Shop Goodwill was shipped to me, and it got shattered in shipping, and so the whole top of the case got completely annihilated and shattered, but at least the keyboard right here is still together, and this one has these gray function keys. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to use this keyboard or a different one I've got. But essentially I just need to use one of these. But this is the one that in shipping, look at the poor plastic that completely got destroyed. And let me grab the case too. I can show you. Can't really break it worse. This was the poor top of that. You can literally see where the keyboard was attached and the screws broke off. I don't know what the shipping people did to this thing, but it was brutal. It's so sad. So we're gonna give it new life by putting it inside a VIC-20 case instead. We'll get this in the base of that, and then we'll start working on the keyboard and popping keys off of it to put these on instead. The other thing I'll eventually do is probably swap the badge out for the Commodore 64 badge with the serial number so it stays consistent with the machine. But for right now, let's just test fit this in here. Should be fine. There we go. And do I have to adjust anything? These two are lining up a little funny. Let's see what could be impacting that. I want to be sure, of course, that the cartridges and stuff can go in really easily too. One thing I don't want to have to do is like bend any of the plastic, or it's just slightly off. Let's see, let's put a screw in or two and then see if they start to line up a little better. It really did kind of pop in there though, so. It's interesting that the legs on the side are a little off. Hey Harlequin, yeah, so this C64 is actually functioning fine. I did a dead test on it this week, and I just showed it briefly on the screen capture. But I'm putting it in a VIC-20 case, and then I'm changing out the keyboard to some more fun colors and stuff. And I just got through telling the story of how the case that this C64 came with got completely destroyed in shipping, so I decided to do something fun with it and put it in a white VIC-20 case and then make it a pretty one, like basically like Barbie colors. So it's something I want to do. Trying to just line this up better. It might be that I wonder if other people take this plate off on this side, because that seems to be what's doing it, what's causing it to not line up on the screws. It's been a while since I watched somebody do this, because you know, you don't technically need the shield here that says tells you what those plugs are, because obviously I know what they are. It's just the game controllers and then the on-off switch and the power. Because this little shield looks like it would be pretty easy to take off. Let's see. I think I'm going to take that off and see how it goes, because that might be the only reason things aren't lining up properly. Looks like it's just the one screw. Right, Modex 20. Don't make them like they used to. Did I 3D print the case? No, this is an original VIC-20 case. I have two VIC-20s. One has a broken game port anyway, and I need to do some work on it before fixing that one up. So I decided to use the case for that one that needs work for this project, for the C64. Alright, so that screw I'm going to put up here, in case I decide to put that back on. Oop, there is something. Oh no, it's just pinched in there. Nope, there is a screw there too. One more. Gotta get this one out. Right there. And the only thing, like, I know it seems a little far away on the camera. I don't have like a DSLR camera to do these nice close-ups on the workbench. That's something I need to maybe fundraise for at some point to do, because then it'll be like high def and you can see a lot more of what I'm doing. Right, so that goes there. Alright, so we'll definitely keep that in case we need it later. Now let's see how this fits. Oh, look at that. I wonder if this was in the way. I think this was underneath, actually. Just protecting the, why can't I grab that? This is a very handy tool, by the way. Little claw. I use this all the time in projects to find stuff and grab stuff. Alright. There we go. now they're lining up. So yeah, apparently the guard on the VIC-20 is like one of the only things that seems to get in the way of the of the C64. It gets slightly in the way of the older VIC-20 case. Harlequin, thank you so much for the bits. I appreciate it. I am still drinking coffee at 8 p.m. That's not good. I really should have switched to water, and that's been sitting for too long. Alright, should I go ahead and start putting these screws back in? I think I will. And then we're going to set this aside and work on the keyboard only. So, you are too, Tweeds? Nice. That's funny. Actually, should we do one of the middle screws first? Just put it in a little bit, and then we'll make sure everything's lined up before tightening them off. There we go. Nice. Now it's working fine. So there's going to be a gap on this side a little bit just from not having that faceplate. And maybe I'll refine that. And that I could 3D print a better one maybe. And maybe somebody else has done that. I could look online and see. We'll tighten all these down in a minute here. By the way, if anyone's wondering why I don't use like a strap for static, I tend to, like right now, you can't see it, but my knee's touching the metal of the desk, so I'm grounded. And like I'm wearing thigh highs, so I'm literally grounded. Like if there was any static that was gonna jump from my body, it would go through there, so we're good. Is my desk grounded? I mean, six-foot spikes through the floor. Holy cow. What surface is it sitting on? So it's on carpet. But Harlequin's correct. It's not that sensitive to it. Funny too because I do have the necessary. I feel like I over tightened that one. Hold on. You do not want to crack this old plastic. There. And then the one I forgot earlier is still there. So what we can do is we can do the dead test cartridge one more time just to double check that swapping into this case didn't do anything weird. It shouldn't have, of course. Is this one not lining up? That one doesn't seem to be catching properly. Oh, there it goes. Okay, that's solid. Alright, oh, I know why. This one acted funny. Shoot, I think I put a larger screw in that smaller hole. Because this should have gone here, I think. Double check. Yeah, see, that goes in nice and easily. Nope, never mind. I should have paid more attention to that part. Yeah, that's where the smaller screw for the shield goes, I guess. Alright, now to get it out of there, I'm gonna have to use this. Alright. Everything's in there. Let's go ahead and plug it back in. We'll do the screen capture really quickly with the dead test cartridge. And just make sure me manipulating the board didn't do anything. And me apparently not being properly grounded didn't do anything. Hey Akira-kun, good to see you. And power. Sure no other metal and stuff is touching. Get this out of here. Okay. Turn on the new brick. And let's turn on the Elgato capture screen. And power. Do I not have the cartridge all the way? Oh, nope, there it goes. Let's let this go for a moment. It'll start doing memory tests and stuff. Alright, so this dead test is going fine here. I'm gonna go ahead and shut off the computer so we didn't mess anything up while switching it out. And we'll work on the keyboard here in a few moments after we do this giveaway. Let me just get the test cartridge out of here. Oh, let's turn off the Elgato capture first. There we go. Got a blue screen, haha. That was just the Elgato because I shut off the computer. Very funny. And again, I'm gonna hold liquid over this Commodore 64. If you would like one of these mugs, this is the 15-ounce coffee mug for Retro Alcove ! Merch, and you can find them. You love the room I'm in? Thank you. I call it the Retro Alcove. If you go to retroalcove.com, you can see more pictures and stuff from it, and also a list of a bunch of the different videos that I've done on some of the hardware I have here. We only have 2 hours left, everybody. Less than 2 hours. Alright, let me grab the keyboard. Okay. So, as I mentioned, this was the unfortunate C64 keyboard that got completely destroyed. Well, the case around it got destroyed in shipping, but I believe the keyboard's fine. My plan is to pop all the keys off and put the equivalent ones here on. What I haven't decided is if I want to do checkerboard or just do fuchsia keys with white function keys. I actually want people's opinions in chat on what you think would look good. You have a Commodore SX64 that still works? That's awesome, Major Tom. I'm starting to lose my voice. I've been talking all day. Alright, let's get these sharp edges off here so I don't hurt myself from the shattered and shipping keyboard. see, we want all 4 of those and all 4 of those off. Heading to bed. Thank you for the stream. Thank you, Yumzy, for hanging out. I'm sorry the timing isn't great for you to get in on the Phoenix later. But make sure you get in this one if you hadn't already, and if you win, I'll let you know. I'm holding the sharp edge underneath the keyboard right now. So. There's one of the broken pegs. Ow. I might need my, let me see if I have my gloves. That hurts. It's very sharp. Got some 3M rubber gloves here. Just put it right over my lace. Because we fancy in the retro alcove. Alright. By the way, if you hear a odd sound, that's the rubber on my gloves rubbing against the desk, I swear. Much better holding the sharp stuff with this. Alright, 2 down. This one's extremely sharp too. There we go. All right. So again, what I'm doing right now, everybody who just got here, I'm taking these broken pieces off. This Commodore 64 keyboard, unfortunately, a long time ago when I ordered it from eBay, the entire top of the case got shattered. So I decided to save it and wait for a project where I was going to replace keys on the keyboard and make it colors I want. And we're putting the C64 itself in a Commodore VIC-20 case because those are white cases, and I figure these keys will look great with a white case. And my, as I mentioned earlier, my earbud is dying, so I'm going to switch back to the other one that charged now. There we go. Alright, another very sharp one here. I am happy that we're like saving this keyboard. This one particular, wait, did I say eBay? I'm sorry. This C64 I actually got from from shopgoodwill.com, and they were the ones who did not do a good job protecting it and shipping, and that's why it got shattered. But my VIC-20 behind me, like right over my shoulder there, that's my original one, by the way. I've had that since I was a child. One of the main reasons I have so many vintage PCs is because my dad wasn't a computer engineer, but he was an engineer, and he was very much into computers early on, as you know, as the dawn of the personal computer age was happening, and I benefited from that big time because we were never on the bleeding edge of everything, but you know, kind of a year later we would get whatever was out and happening for personal computers, and that was awesome because it led to my career. So very cool as an IT lead architect now. So I think I'll take this glove off because now we're going to be popping keys. Let me take a drink. What do I use as a monitor for the C64? It is right here. So that is both a TV and it's got monitor type plugs on it. So it's the right aspect ratio. And it works really well for both the VIC-20 and the Commodore 64. It's what brand was that? Philips. And you can see this other one next to it. This one is more, I've got a VHS, well, a VCR there, and then that is a Sony brand. I've got two of them. There's one over here too. So that Sony TV monitor combo is what I brought to the Vintage Computer Festival for a Wing Commander display. You had a Sinclair ZX80, nice. Actually, let me show you this. Totally one of my newer acquisitions that needs to be completely restored. The badge isn't even on there. I haven't done anything with this yet. Yeah, they're not fun to program on. Yeah, the little chiclet keyboards. More of a toy, you're right. Alright, let's pop some keys. Let's see how this goes. The hard thing here is going to be to not break any posts because it's all old, obviously. So you'll go through the drama with me as I do this, and you'll hope for the best. The next giveaway, by the way, will be at 9 p.m. Central, which is in 33 minutes. So the Intrepid will be given away then. One of the things we could do here is line up all the keys above here in order so I don't make a mistake while putting them back down. Yeah, this will be fun. It's gonna be a lot to do. Alright, let's see. The key, so this is the tool I'm using to pull the keys off. Just a very simple one. Of course that one's stuck now, so let me just pull that off and then I'll show you. Okay. I'm nervous, I don't want to break it. Nice. That one came off exactly how it should. one down. Little delete key or backspace. Should we start with the pink one in the corner? I should just do these one at a time and put them on immediately so I don't have to do like a complicated pull every one and then put them all on. The question I have for you all though is, should I do checkerboard? Because we're going to do a fuchsia keyboard. If I do all fuchsia, I could do a white space bar, I was thinking, and then white function keys on the side. I think that would look pretty cool. And I could do random other ones too, like a white return key maybe. Take them all off and try to remember. No. No thank you. Wait, so every key white except the alphabet. Okay, that's an idea. We can see how that'll look. I can start doing it that way, and then we'll see. Do the vowels in fuchsia. Should I do WASD in fuchsia and the rest in white so it looks like a gamer keyboard for the C64? That would be pretty funny. I'm looking for the backspace key. Actually, it might be in one of these other side ones. There's the function keys in pink. We're not going to use those though. Make it look like a gamer keyboard. There's the fuchsia space bar. So here's the white ones. And then of course, so do you want to see my plan for the white? I want to do white and gray on a different machine. I have this other awesome case that I've had for years and I never ended up using it in a project. So because I'm stealing my VIC-20 case for this project, I still have a VIC-20 motherboard that needs a home, right? So I'm going to put it in this. This is a custom painted Commodore 64 case that I had acquired years ago. It's got silver, purple, and black. So basically my other VIC-20 is going to go in here, I think, because I'm taking over, you know. But I have to, before I do that, I have to repair. And look, there's actually, they actually did it like striped. Or it's just the super bright lights. Kind of faded a little bit, I guess. But it's sparkly purple, yeah. So that'll be fun too. And look, I can take the VIC-20 badge off this machine that I showed you earlier and put it on here instead. So all my motherboards will have a home. Put that back up here. This is like putting together a puzzle. This is fun. Squared down it says, I assume you must still have cassette hardware software that still works. Yes, I do. And do you want to see the cassette players I have? I do have 2 available. Well, actually I have 3, but one's for the Atari 800XL. Let me grab a couple of those for show and tell. Ready? So the Atari cassette player is hooked up and kind of tangled in some wires, so I'm not going to show that one, but here is one of the Commodore ones. This model is the BR99, I guess, I don't know. Or C2N cassette deck. But then let me go ahead and grab, there's another model for the Commodore. There you go. This one's in better shape than the first one I showed you, so I use this one on my VIC-20. Modems do still work on landlines, and you can use a modem on certain VoIP networks if you have your settings perfect for it. I actually do have a VoIP service, and I dial into BBSs sometimes. I've got My coffee's in the way. Let's see. Release cord reach. Can you see this? US Robotics 56K modem right here. By the way, I've been meaning to get my bulletin board system up and running. It's going to be running on this mini tower here. It's going to be called Maiden's Realm, and there'll be door games to play on there and stuff. There we go. Satisfying. All right, one key done. We're going so fast here. Let's try it with all fuchsia and just like white function keys and see how we like it. Cherry petal vibes, like cherry blossoms. Nice. All right, and where's number 1? You only watch when you're streaming Star Citizen, but this is cool content. Thanks, Funk. This is very relaxing for me. It's a lot of fun to just... Okay, that... I forgot the spring. There we go. You see the names of the colors in there? Like, that's how you make black, white, red, cyan. Programming on the VIC-20 was how I started, by the way. I was doing basic programming on the VIC-20 using the little book that comes with the VIC-20. And I actually have some of my original programs on a cassette tape. I wrote those when I was 9 years old, I think. Let's see. Oof. That is so cool how it keeps catching the spring. I love this. Although it's kind of hard to get off of there. Apparently that was not in there all the way. There. Hold on. This one seems to not want to fit properly. Oh, there we go. Satisfying snap. Now it's on. Number 2. Spring. I hope you can hear me when I'm clicking that, because for me, that's a satisfying sound. You probably can't, because I have the noise gate on. We're 12 minutes away from the next giveaway. I should have been doing this earlier. This makes the time pass so much more quickly for me. Because I really get into just doing this. It's fun. Number 3, where are you? Except now I'm getting you all interested in this. You're going to want to see the finished product, and I'm probably not going to be able to do it in an hour. I got to start speeding up. Let's try and go faster. I didn't think number 2 was in all the way. Come on, snap. I don't want keys jumping up at me while I'm using this thing. So far I really like how they look. They look pretty. There. now you can see how they actually look, because from far away they look a little different, the pink, but they're very vibrant. I love them. Slow and smooth. Honestly, the part that's slowing me down the most is these freaking springs getting caught. Because I don't want to mess them up while taking them off that thing. Where's number 5? There you are. Still no broken posts, so that's really good. That is a key thing for this project. Yes, it's going in a white VIC-20 bread bin, but this is for a Commodore 64. But I'm putting it in a white bread bin specifically to go well with the keys, the key colors. And of course, I will put some photos of this project on the Retro Alcove website. If you haven't gone over there yet, take a look at it. You can do !Retro Alcove in chat to find the link, but it's just retroalcove.com. So maybe bookmark that, go watch some of the other retro videos I've done with retro tech that I've got in my collection. And of course, this project will end up on YouTube eventually. You'll see clips from this stream on there. Number 7, where are you? Why don't I see you? Is it upside down? Yes, it is. There it is. Beautiful. We're getting there. Actually, I might finish this by 10 p.m. That'd be kind of fun to get the keyboard done. Whether it's back in the case with the machine and running, like, is a different story, but so far everything's rock solid. Oh, that number 8 was popping up a little. Okay, there we go. You're gonna love this. I was so happy to acquire this. Let's do it this way. It's a 2400 baud Hayes modem. So this is the one with the very heavy metal case. And I have that for a specific project, by the way, because there's somebody who's made new innards for, and I have, by the way, I have 2 metal cases like that. So here's another one with the faceplate off, because it's one of the unfortunate ones that has that problem with the brittle plastic where that is broken. But between the 2 that I have, I'm gonna use one of them to put there's this project where there's different insides you can put in the original Hayes modem case, and then you can use it with doing kind of simulated modem calls over the internet. It's a little silly, I guess, but at the same time, it'll use all the same audio and the lights and everything to do connections to bulletin board systems. So it's kind of neat. So I'm gonna have both the original 2400 baud Haze modem and then that project as well. So that's another thing I'm gonna be doing. That one I'll probably save for the summertime. I'm not sure. We are almost at giveaway time for the Intrepid, everybody. You wanted to join a few BBSs on your C64, you got the WIC 64, and I've used it to talk to 2 different people from around the world. The future is now. That is awesome. That is very cool. Well done. Clear home key. Where are you? There you are. The key with doing this is just pull very straight up or it's gonna break the peg. I'm trying to be super careful. Thanks, Reverend. I'm really looking forward to having it ready. I do need to sort of give the VIC-20 case a good cleaning too, to make it look nice and pretty for photos and stuff, because it's got some imperfections on it. On the case part, not this part. The keyboard here looks great, honestly. Just a little dusty in the corner. Maybe I'll pop the control key real quick before drawing that giveaway. Sorry everyone, one more slight delay. Ooh, this one's tricky because it's wider. Let's go from this direction. There we go. Nice. It's a 2-pegger. I didn't say anything. Control key here. Commander Adorn. Don't want to get kicked off the front page. Let's not go into what that meant. It meant nothing. I was joking. So it's actually not 2 pegs. It's got 2. It looks like a Lego brick. Look, but it only goes on 1 peg. It couldn't handle 2 pegs. Oh my gosh, it's getting late. Okay. Oh no, that wasn't on there. Sure sounded like it made it. Let's see. Freaking Avast notification. Hold on, let me dismiss this. There. Jade, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, there's an ad break. Now I gotta wait till that's done. I can't seem to line this up. It's tricky. Huh. That's weird. There. Got it. Okay. Did y'all see my bows? They're fun. I'm probably gonna end up buying more of these special keys at the next Vintage Computer Festival. which is in September, by the way. Fantastic camera setup for online Magic the Gathering games, except on this side of things over here, there is a wall, so not exactly. But yeah, I could, we could use this for certain card games and things, especially single player card games. I happen to know somebody working on a single player card game that they want to turn into a published product, so maybe that will be something we do on here at some point. Wasteland on the C64, freaking yes. Wasteland was so cool, I remember that. You know, a game I remember trying at a friend's house was G.I. Joe on the Commodore 64. That game, something was wrong with that, or it was wrong with or it's just the fact that the 1541 disk drive was so slow. But you would sit there, you would pick your vehicles you're going to use for G.I. Joe, and you'd sit there and just wait for forever to do anything. This is starting to look good. Alright. Let's see if I can move a little faster here. Q key. Go spread the word to your Star Citizen orgs about the Constellation Phoenix. Don't be greedy that you want to win. I'm just kidding. But you should let other people, your friends, know that there's one available to win, because it's not every day that Constellation Phoenix is up for a giveaway like that. Where's the W? I have to wash my hands after this. These springs are kind of gross. There you are. Ooh, Battletech. You know what we should do before the next Vintage Computer Festival is do a little bit of a, maybe like a little bit of a fundraiser, so I have the funds necessary to buy some of this older stuff, like games like that for streams, because it is costly. The last Vintage Computer Festival I went to, I ran 2 tables. I had a 486 DX250, which is this machine right here, running on running Wing Commander 1 and 2, and then the computer next to it is a Pentium 200, and I had that running Wing Commander 3 and 4. So I was featuring the Wing Commander series at the Vintage Computer Festival, and you might ask why, and I actually had all these picture frames up with words inside them about why Wing Commander was so important. Because the original Wing Commander, of course, completely like revolutionized that kind of game. I mean, a cockpit style space fighting game for the PC, and it did something at a time when that kind of game was really hard to create. And then, of course, Wing Commander 2 was very similar to Wing Commander 1, but it added, like, it was one of the first usage of the speech packs and stuff. So that was crazy because you could add the speech pack to it. Where's the T? And that was another leap in technology that was in Wing Commander 2. And then Wing Commander 3 was one of the first, like, truly playable movies, starring Mark Hamill, of course. So, freaking Chris Roberts was always doing amazing things and creating awesome stuff, and now he's doing Star Citizen, so... There were quite a few people that came by, and they were showing their kids how to play Wing Commander, and they were saying how many hours they spent playing it. Like, they would rush home from school and play Wing Commander on their parents' computer. But it was really cute seeing these kids who are used to playing, you know, a freaking Nintendo Switch try Wing Commander out for the first time. Now we're on the I key. I think the Y didn't quite get down. Yeah, it did. Okay. Oh no. There's pee on the floor. I dropped the letter P. Get it? These are the jokes, people. I've been streaming for almost 8 hours. Need the @ symbol. There you are. No comments? Okay, which key did I just pull? I think it was the star key, asterisk. Yes, there it is. Whew, glad I remembered. I'm not totally saying this is the final version. I want to see how this looks when it's actually in the case, and then I'll decide. I might switch things up, but we'll see. 2 rows done. It'd be funny if as I pull the run stop key, the whole stream just dies. This is how you all know I'm the real deal. That's just a horrible computer geek joke right there. D key. 30 minutes left to finish all these keys. You think I can do it? It's gonna be close. F key. Where's the F key? Just until the, well, I mean, I can go a little longer than that, but the schedule for today for being on the Twitch homepage was 2 p.m. Central to 10 p.m. Central, and we're getting towards the end of that today. Doesn't necessarily mean I'll end the stream immediately after that, but I do need food. I need to eat something. So we'll probably get this keyboard done, and then might have to call it a stream after that time period. CBM stuff, thank you. That is correct. That is the person I bought this from, these keys. He was really nice too. Nice person. My right leg is starting to fall asleep in this chair. Let's make our little section there bigger. I don't know if I said it, but I do want to give a thank you to Twitch for selecting me for the front page for the first time and doing that. That was a really nice surprise that this was happening. I ended up taking the day off of work to be able to do this, but it's totally worth it. It was great to hang out with all of you all day doing this. Oh, I dropped a spring. Disaster. Alright, hold on, let me find this key before I go find that. This one. Okay, let me find that spring. I gotta get up slower. The leather on my legs. Where's the spring? Where did this thing go? Found it. Whew. I didn't want to move the chair to look under the chair because I was worried I'd roll over it, but thankfully I didn't. Yeah, exactly, Harlequin. We are getting close here. There you are. Whew. Nice. Okay, time for the return key. Let's do this way to grab. That's nice. Okay. 3, 2, 1. That went really well. Okay, this one is a true Lego brick. It's a 3-pegger. I wonder if the white return key, well, that would look weird with those though. Let's just do all pink on the main part of the keyboard, and then we'll see how things are, and I'll see how I like it. Oh, is that... I know why. Okay, so that's what this key is for. They probably are barred from using this logo, the standard Commodore C64 or just Commodore logo, and printing it on a key for sale, so they did this instead. That's what I'm guessing. Yeah, trademark, exactly. So that goes here. Speaking of the Commodore logo, you probably can't see it because it's way back there, but let me grab this. I got a magnet for the Commodore. Some fun things to show here. So not only do I have a magnet, but I have, so that's the C64 magnet, or just Commodore logo magnet. And then there's this too. These are coasters. I got these from the Vintage Computer Festival. So I was wondering, I thought I heard something jump. Oops, sorry. Alright, where did that go? Oh, I see it right away, so that's good. We're good. I must not have pressed that one down hard enough. There we go. The peg is fine. It just I didn't snap the key all the way in, so it popped off. Thankfully, it's fine. Trying to be a little more careful and keep my hand there as a guard so that won't happen again. Shift key. These are identical, so we are getting close. Apparently I am, Harlequin. Been pretty lucky finding the springs. Am I lucky for finding them so easily, or am I unlucky for dropping them on the floor in the first place? Depends on what type of person you are, I guess. Exactly. Glass half full. Important to try and stay positive. Ooh, that one almost jumped away, the spring. V key, where are you? I know the spacebar in particular is a little bit of a challenge, because there's like a metal bar in there. So it's, and of course it's hard to get this anywhere that's helpful to pull it off, so I'm gonna have to be careful, and I might just use screwdrivers to pop it. So we'll see. We'll see how that one goes. That one almost got away too, that spring. We are almost done with all the letters. They're getting frisky. Why is this one in here? Wait a minute. Is that the right key? I think it is. Yeah, because that's the period. Okay, good. That one would have been an easy one to mess up if I had pulled both of them at the same time. Oof. Probably should have bought new springs, but yeah, we're getting there in front. I think I've finished it actually. Just make sure to slow it back down when the P is on the floor. Exactly. I did pick that up off the floor when I was looking for the spring, so it's no longer on the floor. I cleaned up the P. Hilarious. Exactly, Haunt. Whew. Okay, it's time for the space bar. How do I want to do this? Because this is pointless to try and do it like that. It would have to be grab one side at a time. If I had two of these, that would be ideal. But I do not. You know what? Maybe I'll use the short one on this side. That was perfect, I think. Let's see. Because the little metal bar is still in there. Yep. I didn't break it. That was perfect. So let's see. This is the trickiest part of the whole thing. And there is that upward angle on one side. You can see what I'm talking about here. Look. it's, see how one side's taller than the other? So we gotta make sure we take that into account too while putting this in. And the taller side, so it actually goes that way. Interesting. Okay, so like that and like this. I suppose rather than trying to bend that, I'm better off pulling the pegs out with something like this. Actually, I need my needle nose pliers, I think, which are upstairs. Or should I get it off the metal? Oh, there we go. Nice. Okay. Let's leave that there. Okay. Trying to take note in my own brain for this. So to get these out, let's see, maybe I could just pull them. Oh yeah, super easy. Let's just make sure these are lined up the same direction. There, okay. Go like that. Okay, so I got the first one in there, you see? And then we'll get the other one in on here before popping it in there. I do believe that's in there correctly. And then it's just a matter of popping these back into these little slots here. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Hope I'm doing this in the right order. Nice. Nice. Snap, snap. And then we put the spring on. Fit it over there. I think. Hold on. It's not lining up properly. Got it. That was perfect. Yes. I'm very happy about that. At 9:54 p.m. we got the spacebar in. So, big question. Let me go get the lid. Because we're going to see how these look and then how the white keys look. Okay, now don't judge me because I haven't cleaned this lid yet. But this is the Commodore VIC-20 lid that I'm gonna use. But it's got some scratches and some dirt on it. But don't worry, I'll give it a good cleaning before hooking everything back up. So, if we stick it in here, that's how it looks with the gray keys. And I'm not a big fan of the gray keys with it. But I'm a little worried the white will just look washed out with the white case. Although this does offset, but again, this is going to go away. It's going to be a C64 badge, so and I want to get this case gleaming white cleaned with pink LED. Yeah, still think the WSDA needs to be white. Maybe I might. I don't know. We'll see. Because for anything I'm going to play on the C64, it doesn't use those keys. Not in the same way, right? Not that I remember. We are so close. So I could either leave those or put the white ones in. Let's see how it looks. We'll pop one white key in. Let's do the F1 key. Still good contrast, yeah. Oh wait, it's the wrong. There they are. If I can just open a freaking Ziploc bag. Oh my gosh, my hands. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Now I'm wondering, I kind of like the gray better. Here, let me hold it closer. Again, pardon the dirt on this VIC-20 case. What do you think? Keep the gray? Or go with the white? Getting black or another color? I know. You say white function keys? Yeah. When this is cleaned up and it looks a little brighter, I think the white will look good in there. So, yeah, I agree. I think I'll do that. And that way we'll just pop 3 more keys and then we'll do the giveaway. Because I think our time on the front page might be done now. We are outside of the window anyway. and I am kind of exhausted. It's been an 8-hour stream. Oh, we don't want that there. We want these separate. Actually, we'll put these in this bag so we don't. Here. Thank you so much, Attack Cat. It was fun, and honestly, you know, I was a little nervous about it because I had never had that much kind of exposure on Twitch all at once. But the people who showed up, I think there were at least, I think, 2 people trying to be trolls early on, but just completely ignored them and they went away. And we're all good. So yeah, 8 hours flew by. It was fun, and I love being able to give these giveaways to people. So, the final key. I'm having trouble getting it on. Hold on. Why is that happening? Get on there. There we go. Keyboard is ready. So what I will do off stream is I'm going to clean up this case more. Okay, that does look pretty awesome. And with this being changed out and not being all black, I think that will help too. So we did it just in time. It's awesome. We timed that pretty well. So thanks for sticking with me for that, everybody. Seriously, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out today. While on the screen, I literally have no idea how many people are currently in chat. But it was honestly just awesome to be on the homepage for the first time after doing this for like over 8 years, and hitting Twitch Partner last year was awesome, and it was mostly due to the regulars who were here today supporting and chatting and playing Star Citizen down there at the bottom of the screen. There we go. Now I can give you all a proper goodbye. And you get to see the retro alcove more clearly. What you don't see is on this wall behind me where the door is and stuff. Usually I have that LED light, starlight thing going, but it kind of trips the camera out, so I don't run it when I'm doing this angle. But that was a gift from you all through Throne, and I love it. It makes it in here like really chill while I'm doing coding work. So, oh hey Abdi. Yeah, we're ending. We're about to raid out to Starjump Grim. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. The timer's going down. I'm gonna throw the end screen up. Thank you so much, everyone who contributed to things today. Thank you.